So hi, my name is Mike, and I'm the founder of ModaMake. We provide an online pattern tool for custom fit patterns. And I'm joined today with Abby Patton of Abby Dashery. She has tie-dye fashions and gifts for the hippie at heart that you can find at her store on Etsy. Abby, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Michael?
Excellent. I read a little bit about your background, and you have a lot in common with some of the other people that I've talked to who, have started their own businesses and whatnot, who are just really not satisfied going to a 9-to-5 every day. To start us off, can you tell me a little bit about how you made that transition from working for someone else to working for yourself?
I think I just took the leap. I was kind of at that point in my life. I didn't have a job, and the choice was to go out and get another job or to just do what I wanted to do, what I've always wanted to do. So I just had the confidence to go ahead and do it. That is all.
and so, it sounds like conditions weren't perfect, right? And that it was possibly an unplanned thing where you're weighing your options of what do I do next. Financially, how are you able to survive sort of for that initial period, right? Where you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump right in.
I mean, I only just survived, and that's thanks to family and friends supporting us. But I mean, it really was, that first year was really tough. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Financially.
Okay. And I guess what kept you going? 12 months can be a long time when you're struggling, month to month and week to week. What kept you motivated? Like, how did you?
I think sheer bloody mindedness, a lot of it, because I knew that it could work. I could see that what I was doing could work. But, sorry, I'm just thinking about how I want to put it. Ask us the question again, sorry.
How did you keep going, like month after month? Why not just throw in the towel, say you're 7 months in when you're still struggling? Why keep going? Like, what kept you motivated?
Because I could see where it could go, and I really didn't just want it to be one of those things that you kind of give up on, because, I am one of those people, being a creative person, I quite often start things and I'm all excited about it, and then I move on to the next thing. Right. And I really didn't want this to be that thing, because this is like the one thing that I held my whole life that I really wanted to do. And I just really wanted to make it work. And I wanted to prove a lot of people wrong who said, you can't make money from doing your art and things like that, and I just thought, no, you can, but you just got to be patient.
Right. And so I guess what had you done, and sort of what set you up to take that step? Did you have any formal background or training in what you were doing or in running a business? What sort of?
Not at all. I had no formal training of running a business. And believe me, I did not know what that was going to entail until I was kind of in the middle of it. But I've always made things since I was a kid. It was just a thing that I always did. I've always been creative. I always made my own curtains and, my own clothes. And so, I mean, I'm self-taught in terms of what I do, but, right. It's a lifelong passion. So.
Gotcha. And how did you choose, I guess, initially what to make and what to put up for sale? What's that process?
I don't know how me and tie-dye got together. Found each other, and it was like the perfect match. Because it's kind of like me, tie-dye, it's like a little bit flaky, like it's different every time. So you can take 3 t-shirts, you can use the same folding technique, the same colors of dye, but each one will turn out individual.
Right.
If you know what I mean. And although you have certain amount of control over it in the way that you fold it or the colors that you dye it, you really also have absolutely no control. Until you rinse it, you don't know what it's going to look like. Right. So that kind of fits my personality.
Gotcha. Okay. and I guess that first tie-dye project, how did that come about? Did you pick up a kit like at a store, or how'd you figure it out?
I'd seen some YouTube videos on it, and it was one of those crafts that I'd never tried because it seemed like you needed a lot of equipment. And I just tried it and loved it. It's just the putting together of the different colours, and then the colours that they make when they touch each other. And I could talk about it for hours.
And so I guess another question is today, now that you're a bit more established and you've kind of figured things out a little bit, and you know, how do you figure out today, you know, what am I going to make next week or next month, or what are the new things that I'm going to put out there? What, you know, what inspires you, and how do you make those choices?
Okay, these things really evolve, and I don't tend to plan them.
Yeah.
Usually I get inspiration from things around us. Quite often, nature, the colours that the sky changes at night when the sun's setting and things like that.
Yeah.
So colours around us, you know, like I'll just see two colours next to each other that I wouldn't have thought of. And I'll just, hey, that looks great. I really want to like do something with that. So really it's colours.
Gotcha.
It's colours that inspire me.
Okay. And what's been sort of one of the hardest things, one of the biggest challenges that you've faced in doing this over you know, the last year or so?
Probably it's the non-creative side of running a business.
Right.
Because you think, oh, you just make your thing and then you put it online and everyone sees it and everyone buys it, right? Well, wrong. So
Right.
it was all the non-creative stuff that kind of took us by surprise, and that was challenging to begin with.
And what specifically were some of those things? Was it, you know, keeping up with the accounting side of it? Was it the marketing side of it? Was it, you know, just sort of the grunt work that you end up doing, and you know, taking pictures and getting stuff online and writing up descriptions? What were some of those, you know, things that were really challenging to get through?
You're right about all that work that you don't see, but mainly it's marketing, online marketing. You've just got no idea. There's so many other people trying to sell what you're selling, and you've got to stand out, and you've got to find the right market. You've got to learn about SEO and tags, and I went into it completely blind, and I had no clue about any of this. So
Right.
that was the biggest challenge. It was like learning a new language. I mean, I'm not even the kind of person who really had social media before I had this business. You know, because I'm quite hippie. I'm not really into all that stuff. So, and I was all like, no, I don't need it. You know, I'm definitely never having Facebook. And, you know, obviously you have to adapt and change and realize that, no, you do need these things.
Right. Yeah, they're invaluable tools. And I saw you have a YouTube channel, and you've been very successful with that. I've seen you had some videos with close to 100,000 hits and whatnot on it. Tell me a little bit about, you know, what you've done, you know, marketing wise on YouTube. Was it just, hey, I'm going to try this new thing and just see if people like it, or, you know, what was the idea there, and what have you found?
The YouTube channel came before the shop.
Okay.
And then I realized that I could use it because it was a fashion channel. It's about kind of girly things, about doing hair, and it's about upcycling clothes.
Right.
So something old and changing it and making it new. So obviously that was exactly the business that I ended up doing with the tie-dye and things like that. So that came first, but I just realized I could kind of amalgamate the two things and use the YouTube channel as a place to show clothes that I'd made and show, you know, beginners techniques and things like that. And then that obviously feeds more traffic into your Etsy store. So,
right. Mm-hmm. And what are your plans, you know, when you think to the future and you think about where you've come from and where you are today, and, you know, a year out, 5 years out, where do you want to go, and where do you want to take this? Where do you foresee yourself?
Well, I'm just in the middle of moving to a bigger home so I can have some studios and more space for Haberdashery. So really, once I've done that, the next steps, I want to do wholesale.
Gotcha.
Kind of try and get Haberdashery in some boutiques and things like that.
And have you started some of those conversations? Have you kind of pinpointed?
Yeah, a few people approached me, which made me think that it was something that I needed to do, because it never really occurred to me that that would be possible.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge way to quickly grow and get income and get feedback, right? If you've got some local stores, local boutiques who will carry your stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that sounds like a great idea. Online selling, you know, I've been involved in online selling for the last 10 years, and I found that it's kind of a slow arc. Unless you have something that just blows up on social media, which generally doesn't happen, it takes a lot of time to build those sales and to build that clientele. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you can get local distribution, it can happen much faster. So that's great if you have that opportunity to try that out. What's some advice that you would give to other people who are potentially considering, you know, following this path? Maybe they have a passion or something that they really love making and putting together, and they're thinking, hey, maybe I should, you know, quit my 9-to-5 and go full bore and give this a chance. What advice would you have to those people?
Okay, well, I'm really naughty, and I would just say go for it every time, because it's like, it's the best thing I ever did, you know. And yes, you know, you will maybe have to go through a year or so with no money and things like that, but you've got to kind of keep your vision. You've got to like keep focused on the end, because you know, it can be done. It can be done. I'm sat here living proof that it can be done. Advice, I would tell them to join some forums and some Facebook groups, some Etsy groups of other people going through the same thing, because that is how I kind of fast tracked my way into understanding the whole, you know, the SEO, the whole marketing thing. And if I just kept bumbling along on my own, I don't know if I would have got there. It was definitely through the help of other people who'd been around longer than me.
Right.
That, you know, that I gained some understanding of what was going on. Also, what I would say, sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I was going to say that's really interesting. You know, I'd love to know what some of those groups were, and what was some of the advice that you got out of that. I guess it was to help you with some of the marketing stuff. And
just I didn't even know that tags existed. That's how little I knew about social media when I started. I didn't even know what a tag was. You know, because if you think about it, if your item's not tagged, you know what, only the people that follow you are going to see it. And if you're just starting out and you've kind of got your mom, your dad and the cat following you on Twitter, there's really, you know, you can tweet all day but it won't make any difference. So you've really got to get your head into gear in terms of internet marketing. So
Gotcha. That's awesome that you found those people in those groups online.
They were really kind people. They helped me for free. They just out of kindness. And now I try and do the same to other people if they're starting out. I'll try and give them some of the same tips that I was given.
Pass it along, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. So that was really all the questions that I had for you. I mean, I love your shop. I think your fashions are super interesting. The hippie at heart, I love that tagline. I think you should roll with that.
Thank you.
So, you know, I'd love for people to come and check you out, check out your store, check out your YouTube channel. There's some cool stuff over there. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.